Hey everybody, just want to share a quick little insight from my City General Conference today. While I was working out at the gym, I was listening to the April 1931 General Conference, and the talk that really stood out to me was by a member of the presiding bishopric. His name was Bishop John Wells, and he was talking about tithing. And he was talking about the fact that when we pay the Lord first, he will make that 90% go further. And he mentions that there are various different people and trends within the church. And he was like, let's live this standard. Yes, it's a full tithe regardless when you pay it, but it becomes so much harder to pay a full tithe if you wait until the end of the month or the end of the year and all your bills are pressing on you and you're like, oh, should I pay my tithing? Should I pay my bills? He goes, and he promised that when we pay our tithing first, the Lord will then help that 90% stretch further. He talked about the people who were wanting to pay all their bills and then with the remainder, whatever's left, give that to the Lord, even if it wasn't a full 10%. He goes, that's not a tithe. It is 10% of your income. And I thought that was really interesting because I see a lot of people these days talking about that. They call it a surplus tithing, where they will take out all of their necessities and then tithe whatever is remaining. So like they're paying tithing on like 20% of their income. And it's not a tithe. That's not how tithing works. And I just think about how many times we've been taught about tithing and the different promises. Like, for example, one General Conference address, they've referred to tithing as the Lord being a preferred creditor, and that we owe the Lord for living on his earth. We owe the Lord tithing, and that when we don't tithe, the phraseology that the Lord uses is he calls it robbery. How could it be robbery unless it was already his and we owed it to him and we refused to pay him? And they use the phrase that he should be our preferred creditor and that we should pay him first. But it's consistently been taught over the entire history of the church that the Lord is that preferred creditor, that we should try to pay the Lord first. And, that's a great goal to have. If you're not doing it now, set a goal to start doing that. And you'll see the blessings. You'll see the Lord make more out of that 90% than you ever could. We have a God that deals in funny math. That 90% oftentimes exceeds the triple digits in what it can do. But I think it's also important to understand that tithing is not a commandment that the prophets and apostles get to adjust and say, hey, you know what? You're in Africa. We're going to tell you only 8% or 6%. This is a law the Lord has given us. It's a law not just of finance to help finance the kingdom, but it's a law that helps us receive blessings from him. Oftentimes blessings are withheld simply because we're not being obedient. And tithing is one of those blessings. Tithing is one of the commandments that holds a bound of blessings. The Lord has said that if you just pay that tithing, he'll open the windows of heaven and pour it out. That's why even poor people are told you need to pay your tithing and you need to pay it first because the Lord will bless you, not because you need the 10 cents, but because they need the blessings.